Hello everyone. Today, we will embark on a journey to discover the world of fine dining, where every ingredient is not just food, but a living work of art. From giant fish in the ocean to delicate fillets, every step reflects absolute respect for craft and taste. Join me as I experience the process of transforming rare ingredients into exquisite dishes. In the culinary world, eels have long been considered a symbol of delicacy and unique flavor. However, handling a giant eel weighing nearly 200 pounds requires the skill of a master. This species of eel is rare, extremely difficult to prepare, and is no less valuable than premium bluefin tuna. The first step is for the fisherman to perform an important ritual, bleeding. With a sharp knife cut down the neck, the blood is thoroughly removed to keep the eel meat clear. Fragrant and free of turbidity, a vital factor in maintaining peak freshness. After that step, the traditional Japanese art of Edo filleting shines. Unlike conventional methods, the chef starts at the backbone, the blade gliding along the spine with precision like a thread, separating the meat without tearing the fibers. This method of cutting allows the belly to be centered, creating a perfectly balanced fillet, a symbol of discipline. Precision and years of skill. Each knife stroke follows the bone structure, removing each strand of meat cleanly. Small bones are gently pulled out. Excess fat is removed decisively. It may seem simple, but each movement is the crystallization of experience, meticulousness, and precision down to the millimeter. The result is a perfect fillet, soft, clear, flawless, ready to become a high-class dish from a powerful creature from the deep sea. It is transformed into a culinary masterpiece, with each slice of sashimi that is crystal clear, soft, and melts in your mouth, accompanied by pieces of grilled eel with a rich smoky flavor. A serving can cost nearly $150, not only because of the rare ingredients, but also because of the talented hands behind it. Cuisine at this level is not simply about eating well, it is about enjoying the passion, technique and cultural value in every piece of meat. From a giant eel processed with sophisticated traditional techniques, we have seen the intricacy in every knife stroke, every piece of meat. But our culinary journey does not stop there. Now, let's move on to another symbol of the ocean, grouper, a fish famous for its firm, naturally sweet meat and sustainably farmed to protect precious resources. Another story, another flavor, but still the pinnacle of sophistication. Grouper, one of the most beloved fish from the ocean, famous for its firm, naturally sweet meat. However, due to overexploitation, some grouper varieties are at risk of disappearing. Therefore, sustainable farming has become an important solution, both protecting natural resources and meeting the increasing market demand. At modern farms, Each giant grouper is meticulously cared for 6 years. This long period of time helps them achieve impressive size and excellent meat quality, firm, sweet and rich. When harvested, the fish are handled under strictly controlled conditions to minimize stress, keeping freshness at the highest level before entering the processing stage. Immediately after being brought to the specialized processing area, the grouper is cleaned of scales with a special roller, removing impurities without damaging the skin. A sharp debar knife is used to cut open the belly, neatly removing the organs in a single operation. Then the fish is thoroughly washed to ensure absolute hygiene. Skilled workers use a specialized fillet knife to separate the meat from the bones, creating perfect fibers. The fish is then quickly frozen to preserve the meat structure. As well as the natural freshness. Once the meat has reached the standard freezing level, each fillet is fed into an automatic cutter, creating slices of uniform weight and size. Each portion is packaged in a 400 grams bag, sealed and refrigerated, preserving its flavor and nutritional value for a long time. Each finished grouper package costs around $40. Reflecting not only its premium quality but also the result of sustainable farming and meticulous preparation. This is not just food, it is a gourmet dining experience for true gourmets. After witnessing the elaborate preparation process, discover how the Chinese enjoy grouper, a spicy, flavorful stew of fish head, a dish that is both powerful and delicate, and besides, a strange deep-sea creature is also attracting attention, giant sea beetles. This crustacean, closely related to shrimp and crabs, is considered a giant of the ocean, with tens of thousands of different species. Despite its somewhat scary appearance, in Japan and Vietnam, it is considered a rare delicacy, attracting adventurous diners. However, eating giant sea beetles is not simple. As bottom-dwelling creatures, they can accumulate heavy metals and toxins. Not to mention their intestines have a very strong smell. Therefore, only highly skilled chefs can turn this strange creature into a delicious dish. With precise and skillful operations, they thoroughly clean, completely remove the inedible parts, and keep only the best meat under the hands of the chef. From a strange creature on the seabed, an expensive and attractive dish is born. In the culinary world, giant squid has always been considered a symbol of sophistication and unique flavor. However, handling a squid weighing hundreds of pounds is not an easy task. This seafood is famous for being difficult to control, rare in quantity and highly valuable, comparable to the most luxurious ingredients on the market. As soon as it is brought out of the water, each squid is processed through a strict process to ensure the meat quality is in the most perfect state. The worker uses a sharp knife to make a decisive cut at the head. Helping to remove the blood and keep the meat inside bright, odorless. This step is the key to preserving the natural flavor and sweetness of the squid. Once the preliminary processing is completed, the squid is brought to the filleting stage, a stage that requires the most delicate technique. Unlike conventional methods, the worker places the knife along the squid's spine, pulling it gently and precisely to separate the meat layer from the cartilage frame. The cut must be neat and even, so that when opened, the white fillet lies completely in the center. Beautiful like a smooth cloth, each operation shows a deep understanding of the muscle structure. The blade glides close to the cartilage frame, gently releasing each fiber of meat. Thin veins, excess fat or the inner membrane are all carefully processed, leaving the meat clean. Smooth and intact. It looks simple, but in fact it is the result of many years of continuous practice. With almost absolute precision, the meat after the fillet becomes pure, smooth and completely balanced. Not a single excess detail. Not a single tear. Only the most quintessential part remains, ready for high-end processing stages. It is this meticulousness that helps the squid retain its sweetness, crispy texture, and become a valuable ingredient in global cuisine. At large seafood markets, the white fillets are processed by workers at a fast speed but with precision down to every detail. Each knife stroke is as light as a breeze, helping the meat not to be crushed, maintaining its natural elasticity. After filleting, the step of removing the tendons and thin membrane is an important factor to ensure the perfect, smooth meat when eaten raw or processed. This technique not only demonstrates professionalism, but also helps the meat retain its glossiness and bright color, something that top chefs always appreciate. After that, the squid is put into a deep freezing system to destroy microorganisms and natural parasites, ensuring absolute safety when enjoyed raw as sashimi. Each slice of squid fillet is carefully packaged, clearly labeled and stored at the standard temperature. Ready to appear on the banquet tables of high-class restaurants. This is not just seafood, it is the crystallization of technique, precision and passion for the profession.
All right, let's get these nets sorted before the tide turns.
Pass me that coil, will you?
Feels like the ice is getting thicker.
Let's get this done before it freezes solid. Oh, this is a good one.
You always say that.
He's right this time.
Early morning on the ice. Fishermen begin a day of work in the cold. Red buoys are dropped into the holes. Fishing lines are tightened, signaling a full catch. They pull their nets together, each step steady in the snowstorm. The spoils are loaded onto wooden carts, dragged back in the freezing cold. When night falls, the firelight warms the group. They cook, share the warmth and the fruits of their labor. An old man carefully fillets the fish. Children sit by the fire listening to the story of the ice sea, where life goes on despite the harsh winter. The winter wind blew hard on the white ice. The fishermen pulled the lines patiently, their hands thickened by the cold. Each catch brought up was a quiet joy. On the way back, the group carried the heavy catch together. Their breath turned to smoke,
Like we got a
but
few
their
good
steps
ones here.
did not falter. When it got
Hey,
dark,
should
they
be enough
gathered
for the
around the
market.
fire. The stove burned brightly, dispelling the cold. The firelight reflected on the tanned faces of the icemen, simple but strong. After a long day on the ice, the firelight becomes a precious warmth. Everyone gathers around the stove, cooking simple dishes but full of camaraderie. Skillful hands filter fish. Each slice of white meat appears under the sunset light. In the wooden hut, the fire flickers, warming the small children. Laughter echoes in the cold winter night, where the fire not only drives away the cold, but also keeps the warmth of a life that has endured through many snowstorms.
Make sure it's tight. We don't want them to freeze too much.
Got it. All right, let's see if we can get a bite. Almost got it. Just a little more.
On the cold ice, the fishermen continue their familiar work. The nets are covered with frost. The cracked hands still pull steadily to the rhythm of winter life. Each silver fish glints as they are pulled from the cold water. The breath is white, the sound of the ropes whistling in the still air. As the sun sets, the nets are pulled back. The group prepares a simple dinner by the fire, ending a day of hard work on the ice. As the sun sets behind the icebergs, the fishermen return to their warm fire. After a long day on the cold ice, the fire is like a familiar friend, welcoming them back. The crackling sound of firewood echoes in the quiet space. They light the stove, cook a pot of fresh fish just pulled from the cold sea. The heat rises, mixed with smoke and the salty smell of the ocean, creating a rare moment of warmth in the harsh winter. The old man carefully slices each piece of fish, his hands calloused but skillful. Everyone sits around the stove, telling stories of the sea, of the wind, of past winters. The fire flickers, clearly illuminating each sunburned face, each tired but proud wrinkle. In the simple snow hut, the warmth from the red fire spread throughout the space. After a long day of making a living, this was a rare moment of peace for them. By the firelight, the men told stories about the sea, about long journeys in the snow and wind. The orange-yellow light reflected on each sunburned face, the deep wrinkles, traces of many stormy winters. Children sat close by, their eyes wide open, listening to each story as if listening to a legendary world. Outside, the wind still whistled through the cold canvas. But inside, the fire burned brightly, the warmth spreading as if dispelling the winter.